everybody!
Hey, everybody!
So we were at Simply Jan's live stream a minute ago, and she mentioned doing a love raid, and we're like, oh, everyone might come over, so we decided to come on. Oh, thank you. So I see some people from over there, so thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for stopping in. So we're going to kind of do a question and answer session. So there's some questions that we've been getting in our comment section on some of our videos. So if you guys got anything that you guys have questions on or something you want to talk about, we try and kind of do an open forum and not really nail it down into anything real specific. So we got a couple of things that we're going to go through, but if you guys got anything.
We should welcome the people that are
here. Everybody that's on here.
And then name them out.
We got the Wickershire Project. And we're going to talk about Billy and his family in a little bit. We actually got that down in our notes. Billy came over and paid us a visit. That was pretty sweet. So after our live stream last Friday, during the live stream, we gave away a, what was the name of that? The whole seed catalog. And Billy from the Wickershire Project won that. Congratulations, Billy.
Yeah.
And he said, hey, what if I just come over and get it? And we're like, okay, come on over.
Well, you're like, I dare you.
I dare you to come over,
and
Billy.
And he was like, challenge accepted.
Yeah, so Billy made the 3.5-hour drive from Southern Virginia, came on over, and that was cool. So we got to meet up with them, and we'll talk about that a little later. Pafford Homestead, welcome. Good to see you in here, Charles. The Tinker's wife.
Oh, it's so sweet. Got my seat up front.
Yeah, she came in early. Gail, it's good to see you on here.
Yeah.
Much love to Gail. And we just found out you got monetized, so congratulations on that.
Yes, congratulations.
That's a great thing.
Oh, we got all kinds of people come in. Oh, thanks, everybody. Let me see who else is on here.
We just actually, Wickershire mentioned the ghost pepper jelly, but we just tried some pepper jelly, and it was pretty different. So you get that sweet and spicy at the same time. So that was pretty neat. We got that at a local farmer's market down in Tompkinsville, Kentucky.
Yeah, it was funny because she was like, I have to warn you, it's a little hot. And we were eating it. We're like, this has got no kick to it.
No, but it was really good, though. You could taste the...
Big Dream Homestead came in, so hello. And then...
Beam me up, Mr. Scott.
Oh, I love that. Beam me up. So hello. Who else do we have here? Doing Things Different came in.
Doing Things Different.
First time I've invited your channel.
Oh, the Tinker's wife?
I don't know. You.
Yeah, it's...
Oh, Simply Jan's here, too.
This is not able to stay. Checking out your videos later. Well, we appreciate it. I see you quite a bit, Tinker's wife, on Courtney's channel, the Wide Family Farm channel. So I see you on there quite a bit. But thanks for stopping by. We appreciate it. And there's Simply Jan herself right there.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, Jan. Thanks for shouting out our channel. We really do appreciate it.
Yes, we do. We really, as you were saying and giving the shout out and asked to put the link, I was like, oh, Jan's so sweet. So thank you so much. We really, really appreciate it.
So we've been running our lives on Sundays at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, but Sundays were starting to get a little busy, a little clogged up. So we decided to move it. And we actually saw there was a time slot after Jan, and that's kind of the part of the day that we wanted to go for. So one of the other issues with being at 4 o'clock with the daylight, so much daylight, that there was so much time left in the day still at 4 o'clock. So we were still running around trying to get the last couple things done, working on projects or feeding the animals, whatever it might be at that time. So we kind of wanted something later on in the day. So this is one of the reasons we moved it to a different day.
Bar Run Forge came in, and then, oh, where did it go?
And Bar Run Forge did not write howdy, howdy,
he
howdy.
He did. He moved it down.
Oh, I missed it?
That's what I was telling you. Right there.
Oh, man.
And then Anna from
They're always
4Day
good.
Homestead also came in, and she said that she's resting for work, so she's listening along. I received the Baker's Creek catalog, so you're welcome.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's about when we we checked the tracking at the postal service, and that's about what they said it was going to come. It said it was going to take like a week to get there.
Oh, and then the Rusty Pepper came in.
Hey, let me do that because you got to like bend all the way down
I
and
know.
your head's like right. The Rusty Pepper. I can't remember how she's related to Gail. I want to say that's Gail's mom, maybe. I don't remember.
Beat me up, Scott. It's just like tickling me all within like the name. Beat me up, Scotty.
Beat me up. What's Nathan keeps asking when they're going back, and once we move to Kentucky,
Yeah,
you can just move down the street, or you never know. We might be able to work something out.
so we did record when Wickershire came over, and I will eventually put all that stuff together. He was so sweet. We actually checked out his video that he did when he came over here, and that was really neat. And then to answer your question, Wickershire, so hopefully this Sunday, if all things go according to plan, I will be posting on Sunday the video on how to make paletas, or also known as like Mexican popsicles.
Yeah, it's like a ice cream bar.
So I will be hopefully posting the video. It depends if I'm able to finish it. I've been working on it, so hopefully that gets sent out, and then you guys can make ice cream. So it's like a Mexican ice cream with strawberries, because I know that strawberry season's on right now. I was laughing with Simply Jan, and the other homestead that was just on there was Boots and Bounty.
Homestead.
They were talking about how they haven't been able to weigh their strawberries because they just eat them. And it's so funny because that's what was going on here in the Conrad homestead as well. We were trying to weigh them. But the kids and even Paul were eating them before they got weighed. So I said to them, guys, if you stop eating the strawberries and you bring them in, I will make a promise to you, and I will make you paletas, the Mexican popsicles. So they took my challenge and they ran with it because they love the popsicles. So they had bags of strawberries. So I will be sharing with you guys in the video on how you can make your own paletas, or it's almost like an ice cream too.
It's an ice cream, yeah.
Yeah.
So, what was I going to say? Oh, so Billy, I was going to get on the phone and I was going to add a link, but then I was just thinking, you're a moderator, Wickershire Project. If you can add that link to your video, that'd be awesome. So people can go and check out that video that we're talking about, where we had the Wickershire Project over.
And then you had asked, and Rusty Pepper said, Gail is my adopted granddaughter. To answer your question.
No, she said, Gail is my adopted granddaughter!
No, that's not the connection point, though. So that reminds me when we had like a family get together one time at my house. So we invited the neighbors, and we talk really loud, my family. We just talk loud all the time. And he's like, why is everybody yelling at each other? Like, are you guys mad? And we're like, no, this is our like normal level of talking. It's just this like loud. Simply Jan, yeah, it was really neat to meet Billy from the Wickershire, and it was funny because when Paul's like, I dare you, I was like, is he really going to make the trip? And he did. So now that we're somewhat caught up, I guess we could talk about that for a minute. You want to say some stuff?
Yeah, we can talk about the Wickershire Project coming over. So like we said, they won the giveaway. We kind of did a 600 subscriber.
I'm laughing at Simply Jen's comment.
Strawberries are not allowed.
To be weighed, you must eat them.
Yeah, the majority of them don't make it into the house. But no, actually, now they've been producing like crazy. Boots and Bounty was actually talking about how they started out with 8 plants, and then they keep sending out runners and runners. And she was saying like numbers like 200 plants a year get transplanted to different areas. So we've had the same experience. We started out with 25 plants, and we're probably taking up about a 3-foot by maybe a 25-foot space, so 75 square feet with those 3 plants. But then when we planted those spring of last year, so spring of 2020, and then by the fall of 2020, we had so many runners, and just it was so clogged in there that we had to spread them out. Then we started 3 new 25-foot rows, and then we started like 100-foot row over in another section, and then we just put random strawberry plants. And now this year, those started fruiting this spring. So strawberries are really neat. If you're having, a lot of people tell me, and this is one of the questions that I had is, how are your guys' strawberries multiplying so fast? So what I would encourage you to do, if you have a variety that you've tried, try a different variety. Or if you haven't had success, try a different variety. Because one thing that we found is we have different varieties. Like we tried the sequoias, and the sequoias didn't do very well here for whatever reason. And the same areas, same conditions, same everything. They're right next to the other ones, but they don't thrive where we're at for whatever reason. But we got a brand or a variety called the Everberry, and that thing just blew up. That's the
ever like EV.
Yeah, EVER. EVERBERRY. So that particular variety just went bonkers. So that's the one we're going to stick with. There's probably 100 different varieties, so give them a shot.
So Beam Me Up Scott said, I've been into, and then he says a brand. What does that say? Strawberries.
Alpine.
Most of the old world ones actually don't make runners.
Yeah, so then the other option for those is, they'd have to go to seed, and then they probably overwinter, and then you'll get them the next spring. But, yeah.
That I am growing, that is my precious, is called.
I don't know where you're reading it.
The last one right there.
Oh, Beam Me Up Scott. The Alpine variety that I am growing is my precious. It's called Bollensauer. Huh.
Wow.
That's interesting.
I paid like $20 for 15 seeds.
So you're calling Beam Me Up Scott. So let's hone in on that for a second, because you're calling it Alpine variety, but then you're also calling it the Bollensauer or whatever. Is that just the name you're giving it? Because I know there's everbearing, which means they produce like throughout several different months, or there's the June bearing where you just kind of get a dump of them all at once. So
he made a comment down
I'm
there.
not sure exactly. The bowl of magic. Okay, so it's an everbearing strawberry. Okay.
So Beam Me Up Scott, like when I could see you like near the strawberry plants, you know how like Gollum like crouches. So like when I read that, I see you like next to your strawberries, like my precious, the strawberries.
What is Wickershire saying? He says Conrad Homestead has full wood chip garden bed, almost no weeds whatsoever. Yeah, so we do a lot of highly intensive organic matter, just over the top. If you're interested, you can look up keywords like back to Eden gardening or lasagna gardening, lazy gardening method, anything like that. Who's the guy in England? I'm trying to think of him. And actually, that's where I got that slug trap, Billy. Man, I forgot. Charles Dowding. I could put that all in there. But Charles Dowding is where I got that slug trap that Billy put in that video that I showed on our homestead. Yeah, so let me just kind of go back to the tour that we did with the Wickershire. So they came over, and we got to meet them face to face. We got to hand them their seed catalog, and we actually we're like, okay, here's your seed catalog. See you later. But then, we didn't have any intent of really sending them off just like that. But we were just playing around with them. So then, we got to hang out with them. They got to see, go over to that video that Wickershire posted the link for, and you can see a lot of that tour. And a lot of the time, we just got to spend some time and get to know them. So that was really neat. So, yeah, awesome time. Thanks for coming over, Billy. We really do appreciate you taking that time, spending the resources. It was cool.
And then Simply Jan said I should make those strawberry popsicles for the boss. I agree. I think that you would love them. We actually just bought some at Walmart.
Bought some of the popsicles.
Yeah, we bought some popsicles because we were out doing some errands and it's hot and we were out in the sun. And so Paul found them at Walmart and they're itty bitty. And so they're mini, right, is what they're called.
Yeah.
And so we decided to try them out and the kids are eating them and they're like, these aren't as good as mom's. And I'm like, oh, thank you. I think part of it too is the strawberries. Like they have so much sweetness. I know that Beam Me Up, Scott was saying that the variety of strawberry that he has are the size of the fingernail, but they have so much flavor.
Yeah.
And I think that makes a big difference, especially in paletas. So Jan, get a little baggie. You only need 1 cup, Simply Jan. There's 1 cup of strawberries for that. So you can like eat some, like in the video that I'm going to be sharing, I was watching and I was like, oh my goodness, I'm surprised we got any strawberries. They're cutting them and they're like, I got to taste it. Oh, that one was good. And then like kind of like, oh, I got to taste it. Like, stop eating the strawberries.
I haven't seen that.
I just started working on it. And then someone up there had mentioned about the caps. The capitalization, something pepper. I was saying that they can't see the small text. That's the reason why they write in bold. So.
Yeah, a lot of times we kind of gravitate toward the larger fruits. You get these huge watermelons, 50-pound watermelon, or you want these huge cucumbers or huge strawberries. The sequoias are supposed to be pretty big, which is why we kind of gravitated toward those. But a lot of times when you get these bigger varieties, they're just a really high water content. So you have these big fruits on them, but then they don't have that concentration of flavor, so they're not as good. So it's actually a lot of times it's better to have the smaller fruits that taste better, and just grow more of them. If you want more, just grow more of them. You don't have to have such big fruits. A lot of times in the store you see these big fruits because they're catchy. They catch your eye and they sell better.
Doing things different says you'll need 2 cups of strawberries, 1 cup for your recipe, and 1 cup for taste testing. It's so true, though.
Yeah, you're right.
Sorry. I got the giggles.
Yeah, he says he's gonna send me. So where are you at? Beam Me Up, Scott, with your alpine strawberries. Where are you located? We're in central Kentucky, south central Kentucky. That'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
He's in Denver. Maybe that's why he's calling it a alpine strawberry.
Pre-Hallie made. Can't remember if I said hi. I don't remember we said hi either. I don't remember seeing her come in.
The Pre-Hallie Maid is hiding back in there somewhere. Pre-Hallie Maid, show yourself. I didn't see her either.
Well, if you guys came out here and we have not said hello, I apologize.
Nisi, if you're in here, hello.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for joining us.
And then it says, doing things different. Kenny calls it quality control. Her giggles are contagious.
No, she said, her giggles are contagious!
Stop teasing. They explain
I'm
why.
not teasing. Whenever I see the all caps, that's how I read it. I'm like, Kenny calls it quality control. Yeah, you gotta try it.
Bomber Steve.
That's why they
Good
say
day,
never
guys.
trust a skinny chef, because you gotta taste what you're cooking constantly. Hey, Bomber Steve.
Yeah, and he says we are in the new house. Congratulations! I was actually thinking about you guys.
Nice.
That 1 week, and I was like, oh, they haven't come on. I was like, today is the week that they're going to be moving in. So I'm so excited that you guys are in the house.
Nice.
And Bomber Steve, so you know, we mentioned you in the last live stream. I don't know if you were able to see that one or not. But we felt so bad that we did that giveaway. And we were like, he was in Australia. And we didn't even think about it. So we apologize for thinking about you the other day.
But 4-Day Homestead had no regrets whatsoever. So.
Oh, and then Simply Jan said, I type in caps so I can see what I'm typing.
All right.
Stop giving them a hassle.
What was, yeah, we sent, Wickershire Project made a comment about getting some plants. Yeah, we propagate quite a few plants. We have some of our go-to. Hey, Jesse! That's my brother, Jesse.
Hi, Jesse.
Thanks for stopping in, Jesse.
Yeah.
So we keep a little stock, and we love to hand some stuff out when people come over. We always have some peppermint, some aloe. We propagate a lot of figs. And what else did he say we give them? Oh, strawberries, too. We pot up a lot of those runners and try and give those out so we can give some other people some of those strawberries to put around their property. So, yeah, we sent Wickershire. We sent the Wickershire home with some of that. Jesse's getting fist bumps in here. Look at that. Jesse! Lots of hard work ahead. What are you talking about? Got a tour of the house.
So beam me up, Scott. Yeah. What kind of strawberries are you growing?
We're growing a June-bearing variety, but it's called the Everberry. I'll write it right here.
Did you ever get that? Did you get that one from the Mennonites?
Yeah, that was the one that I got from the Mennonite. But we actually found out that no hemp. Actually, I found this plant. No. It's interesting that you brought up hemp, Jesse, because hemp is starting to gain quite a bit of traction here. But we don't have enough property and the right machinery to grow it on a large scale. But I think blackberries, wild blackberries, may have a market in the textile or fiber industry. I've been doing some stuff with blackberries, and they have very stringy centers. It's not at all stages. Like when it gets dry, you won't find that. But in the first month of their growth, when they come out of spring, they have this real stringy fiber, and I was actually going to start messing around with making some kind of rope, or just kind of trying to work with it a little bit. So,
Beat Me Up Scott said it's not worth the hassle. I think that he was talking about the hemp.
The hemp.
You know what's funny? Because I remember when we were still in Arizona, some people had moved from the East Coast to Arizona. And they said that this whole time that they were taking care of their aloe vera plant, because they had kept it in the house and they had babied it. And he's like, we come and you guys have it as lawn decor. If I had known, I would have left the aloe vera. So coming here, that's one thing that I really wanted. I want some aloe vera plant, because aloe vera plant is really good for cuts and burns, even sunburn. I remember my nephew had gotten sunburned, and we put aloe vera all over, and the kids too. Our kids got it. Our kids mostly get dark, but they did get a few little sunburn spots. So I love my aloe vera.
Yeah, and actually another use of aloe is for when you're doing clones. when you're propagating a plant, like you're taking cuttings from a plant, a lot of people will actually dip it in aloe because it's like a gel, and it stops the clone from drying out. So right before they put it in whatever potting medium it is, whether it's perlite or just some kind of a potting mix, they'll dip it in that aloe, and it keeps it moist. So there's a little trick for you guys that are propagating stuff. Aloe is really good for that, and I've done that a couple times, and it works really good.
Farmer Steve said, "Hi, hey everyone, on my phone and too hard to tag. Love you all, and we are very happy." Aw, I'm glad to hear that you're you're happy. Like I said, I've been having happy thoughts, and I'm like, they're gonna be in their house, so I'm excited. And then doing things different said, "Be right back. Evening chores. We'll keep playing. Thank you. We really appreciate the love, really." And then I know we've had a few people tell us like they're not able to catch us on our new time, but they do the replay. So thank you everyone that's joining either now or later. So thank you. And then Jesse wants to know you do any hydroponics?
Hydroponics. So hydroponics is like growing in a controlled solution where you have like a constant flow. We do not do hydroponics. I don't think I ever have. No. I've done aquaponics and a little bit of aeroponics, which is just like putting a bubbler in water, but that was very small scale.
Gail said, "I'm listening and getting grass clippings for my chicken." So thank you. Man, chickens go crazy over like anything we throw at them.
Yeah, look at Wickershire's. He's reminiscing of all the little areas that he went to on our property. So, yeah, there's a lot of things. If you guys get a chance, like Wickershire Project did, to come out that we don't show on YouTube. We don't really go through and just like highlight different areas of our property on YouTube. But yeah, there's a lot of cool little neat things. So.
Farmer Steve said, "Building pantry, dining table, and painting kitchen cupboard today." Yeah. So the table, is it going like against the wall, or is it like the center kind? And then the painting the kitchen cupboard.
It says it's a dining table.
But it says the pantry, because I know that sometimes they have almost like a it's not like an island, like a butcher table in the middle of the pantry. So I'm wondering, Bomber Steve, is that what it is, or is it more like a actual table? And then he says painting kitchen cupboards today. So I actually painted the RV kitchen cabinets. We had them one color, and we had like sanded them and painting them. And so my heart now goes out to people, to everybody that paints kitchen cupboards, because sometimes I'm like, I'm going crazy. We're just painting and painting.
Yeah, and rarely can you do it in one application. Usually you have to do 2 coats, and it could be a lot of work.
So sending happy thoughts your way.
We know that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
You may never figure that out, Wickershire. Why the house has 2 front doors. Yeah. I don't know. But it probably always will. So one of the things that we did, so Wickershire came over on Saturday. Then we go to church on Sunday and kind of take it easy on Sunday. And then on Monday was Memorial Day, obviously. Mm-hmm. And the Friday before that, 3 days before that, we just found out about it's basically like organized swap meet, where everybody just brings whatever they have, kind of farm related, plants, animals, basically whatever, tools, farming tools, regular tools. There was even some household items like candle holders, kind of stuff like that, kitchen stuff. Not really a lot of like furniture, like couches or anything like that. But So we found out about that on Friday. So then we're like, oh, we should go to that. So that was kind of like a little get together / swap meet is what it was. So we took some stuff out there. We took some of our little roosters out there. We had some little 3 or 4 week old roosters that we took out there, and we actually took 3 kittens out there. And the kittens were, what were they, like 8 or 10 weeks old, somewhere a little over 2 months old, and we had a cat. We have 2 female cats. One is fixed, one is not.
And the non-fixed one adopted us.
Yeah, the non-fixed one, she just showed up one day and was like, I live here now. You're feeding this other cat, you can feed me too. And we're like, okay. I mean, she's a nice cat. If she was a mean cat or whatever, we would have just run her off. But she was a nice cat, and she's actually got pregnant twice before. So she's been around for about 1.5 years. But every other time she's gotten pregnant, she's only had like 1 or 2 kittens. So it hasn't been a real big deal. Well, this time, 2 months ago, she had 6 kittens. And we're like, oh, we got to do something with all these kittens. Mm-hmm. So we took 3 out of the 6 kittens over there. Each one of our kids, we have 3 kids, they kind of each adopted one of them. And we're like, we don't know, maybe we'll keep them. So we're kind of trialing them out. It's kind of good for them to have like an individual pet, because, then they're responsible for it. They kind of looked after it. They can do, within reason what they want with that particular pet. So I think it's a good thing. And then, we told them, if you want to keep it, you got to pay for the cat food. So it's not real expensive, but, it just gives them that responsibility. So we have 3 out of the 6. We sold the other 3 at that little swap meet for $10 a piece. Like around here, you can't give away a kitten. But we had them out there, and we got rid of them within an hour. I sold a couple fig plants. We didn't take a whole lot of stuff out there, but we made enough money to make it worth our while to go. And then we got to hang out and network with some people. And then we found out about another big yard sale.
And before you go into that, we actually I met one of our neighbors at that swap meet that is a blacksmith.
Yeah, so this thing was like 30 miles from our house. And we go up to a table, and he's like, hey, you live down the street from us. I'm like, oh, we do? And so he's like, yeah, you should bring your kids over sometime, and I'll teach them how to make these knives. And, if you guys are interested in that. And I was like, oh, heck yeah, I want to learn how to make knives too.
And Caspian, David loves knives, but I think Caspian loves knives a little bit more. And so he makes knives out of horseshoes, different things that you wouldn't think of. It was horseshoe, and there was
files. A lot of them were made out of files.
And then files. The railroad
spikes.
Yeah,
railroad nails.
All kinds of stuff. And so the kids were really excited. Jesse, to answer your question, what are the cats' names?
Dang, he really wants to know. I thought he asked 3 times, but it was just 2 times.
So their names are. I'm trying to remember what.
One of them is Crookshanks.
Yes.
And so there is like an orange one that has, what is it, white stripes? It has stripes to it. So it's kind of tiger looking. I like to call that one Tiger. But they named that one Crookshanks. And then there's a white one
with light gray, and then the other one's the same white with dark gray.
With just a little darker gray. And the mom has a little patch of gray on the side of her head. But these ones have it right down the center of their head. But it's not very big.
What are their names?
It probably goes from the middle of their head to about the middle of their neck. I don't know what they named those ones.
I call them Little Mo. Because we had another cat that looked identical to that. And so I call it Little Mo. So I'm like, that looks like Little Mo. And I forgot what their names are.
Yeah,
So
we'll
I
have to
apologize.
figure out what their names are. And
They know their names, but I just don't
of
remember.
course.
Yeah, and I remember my grandpa one time saying that when they have animals, they have something to look forward to go outside, and it's true. Like they go outside and they're getting their little kittens and they're like playing with them. And the good thing is that they know when to let them go. They're not one of those kids that just holds and holds. They're like, okay, I pet you, okay, go be free. And I'm excited because they're really good. The mom is a really good mouser, so hopefully the kittens are good mousers. We did find out that there is a humane society. It's not called a humane society. It's called something else. That they actually fix the cats for free. They allow like so many cats per year that you're allowed to bring in. They'll fix. So we talked about doing that at least to the females to get them to not have any more babies.
Well, we only have one female. We just have the mom cat.
Oh, the kittens are all male?
Yeah, all the kittens are males that we got. So out of the 6 kittens that she had, only one of them was a female cat. So we sold that one female on Monday, on Memorial Day.
So you're talking about the other one that we just
So
found
I was
out.
talking about this other one that they told us about on Monday, and this is a statewide yard sale. It's actually known as the 400-mile yard sale. So if you go to this website right here, I'm typing it in right now. If you go to this website, don't leave here. Don't do this right now. If you go to that website, you'll see the route of this yard sale. So it starts down in the southeastern point of Kentucky. I believe, I want to say Paducah, but then Paducah doesn't sound right.
Free Helly Mate. Hello.
Hey, there's Nisi.
Nisi, were you here earlier? We thought we missed you. We're like, so hello. I'm saying hello to you now.
Only Jen could see her.
Yeah.
Somehow. With her little spidey senses, she sensed her. So we found out about this 400-mile yard sale, and we wanted to find out. We kind of did some research, and we wanted to find out if there was a spot near us that we could set up and take some stuff. Hey, Bruce. Bruce is Swarmstead. Bruce is catching like swarms left and right these days. If you guys aren't familiar with Swarmstead, check out that channel. If you're into beekeeping, and he gets these calls where people get bees, up in their chimney or under a roof eave or in a tree near their house, whatever it may be, and then he goes and takes them and rehouses them. And sometimes it gets pretty tricky. So those are interesting to watch. I like watching that. We need to get into bees. Hey, you, this is going to be your project. You learn about bees and get us some bees.
I'm going to get my best man on it.
We need some honey. Yeah, we've been wanting to get into bees for a while. It's just it's kind of like there's so many things going on, and the bees are on the list. They're just kind of not yet a priority. So we need to do that. And then on one of the, I don't remember if it was Swarmstead's live, he was talking about a lot of times there's like a little gatherings, like beekeeping groups. And a lot of times if you can get into those groups, you can sometimes get like boxes and stuff from people that have extras, or they'll have somebody that no longer wants to get into it, or maybe somebody's spouse passed away and they were the beekeeper and they don't want to mess with them anymore, and then they just want to get rid of them. So we need to find something like that, because I can't really see us going out and spending hundreds of dollars to really get into it, but we do need to do that. So back to the 400-mile yard sale. So we went driving around today, because a lot of times, a lot of these things are not very detail oriented. Like we get told about them, like, yeah, we're gonna go to this. Okay, where's it at? Oh, it's over here and this and that and that and that. Okay, I don't know how to get there. Like that's like 40 miles away. You're not giving me like actual directions with like north and south or exact miles or like an address would be really nice. You're giving me like go up and down. You're going to go up and down a couple of times, and then you're going to keep going, and then you're going to see a white house, and then it's going to fork, and then you're going to stay to the left and just keep staying to the left, and then like
you're going to keep going for a little bit.
You know what that equals? That equals me lost somewhere, wasting a whole bunch of time. That's all that equals. So, like when they told us about this 400-mile yard sale, they're like, yeah, it's on the 68. You just go along the 68. Okay, well, that's like 400 miles of highway. So
go past that big tree.
Yeah, go past the big tree, and then the road will kind of curve left, and yeah, that doesn't work.
I can follow that kind of directions. Don't give me numbers.
I got something for you doing things different. That is different. That ain't right. That's what that is. That ain't right is what that is. So, so we went out today to kind of try and figure it out. If you go to that website, 400mile.com, it is actually fairly organized. Now, a lot of the sites that they have listed on there, like we have two major metropolitan areas that are near us, and that would be Glasgow to our east, and then Edmonton to our west. And we're kind of equally distant between the two. We're about 20 minutes away from either one. But Glasgow is more of a population density. It's higher density. So we're like, let's go into that area, and we'll kind of drive around over there and see if we can find a good spot to take some stuff out tomorrow. So we drove around. A lot of them were just single family yard sales. And there was a ton of them. Like once we got out of Glasgow, headed to Edmonton on the 68, the whole thing's on the 68. You may kind of go off like a mile or two to get off the highway, but you'll see big signs. So then, like once we got out of Glasgow, it was like almost, man, we must have seen like 20 yard sales almost consecutively. Like yard sale, okay, skip a house, yard sale, yard sale, yard sale. Okay, there's a yard sale over here. Oh, there's two right there. There's a sign going that way. And they were just one after another. So we found there was kind of some hot spots. And on that website, it seemed like there was more like sites where somebody would just pull up to a parking lot and you'd have a bunch of vendors. So you'd have people that, threw all their stuff in a trailer and then took it out. So that's kind of what we wanted to do. We wanted to get to a place where there was a lot more traffic versus just, going where you only had one person every once in a while. But we drove around today. We didn't really get a solid answer onto where we wanted to go. We found a pretty decent spot that was in Glasgow. It was kind of just a field along the road. It looked kind of like maybe it was a hay field that had been cut pretty low. And there was probably, 10 or 12 vendors out there. Mm-hmm. And it seemed to have a decent amount of traffic. So we're just kind of trying to weigh, like, where I'm at right now with that. Like, is it worth it to load everything up? You have to put it all in the trailer, load it up, get out there early, unload it all. And then, you have to man that thing all day.
And then some of those places have fees.
Yeah. And it says there too. So that one actually charged, I believe we were on, somebody's property and they charged $20 a day, which is minimal,
But if you make more than that.
If you have the traffic, it's worth it. It's better to pay $20 a day and have tons of traffic than go somewhere for free and you're getting, 1/10 of that traffic. So I think it's definitely worth it.
We went to a few places to not only scope out, but just see what they had. And I kept buying baskets. I love buying baskets. And those places are the perfect place to to buy baskets. I either buy them for myself or I buy them as gifts because I like to give our neighbors gifts for different occasions. Like it's summer, so I'm going to give the next door neighbors some paletas, which, like I said, I will share the recipe, and then just like a gift, like, hey, it's summer, and then back to school and whatever. So I like to give little things. So I like to have baskets, and so I was collecting tons of baskets, and the kids are like, stop buying all these baskets.
I guess I didn't think of it, but it's kind of the equivalent of like a gift bag.
Yeah.
It's kind of like you kind of get a basket, fill it with some stuff, and then you save the basket, and then when you want to give some stuff away, you use the basket, or you collect and have a couple extra little baskets. I hadn't thought about it like that before, but
yeah, that's that. So I'm like, this is the perfect time because I got one for like a quarter. Actually, I got two for a quarter each, and I was like, sweet. And then I felt bad for David, so I wanted a basket and wanted to see if they would take less for it. And they have accents, and so David's like, can I pay X amount for this
$2.
basket? Yeah, $2. He's like, can I pay $2 for this basket?
Will you take $2 for this basket?
Yeah, he's like, will you take $2? And the person said, I'm gonna try to say it in a way. How do you say? You could take it. What is
take it for free? You can take it for free.
Yeah, take it for free. And so he was like, sweet, like I could take this basket for free. And he's like so excited. And he's like trying to take off this little basket. And they're like, whoa, aren't you going to pay? And he's like, didn't you just say I could have it for free? And he's like, no, I said you could have it for $3. And it was because of the accent. He heard free and it was $3. And even Caspian's like, I heard free too. Like they were both ready to take off with this basket. So we did pay the lady for the basket. Beam Me Up wants to know, are you interested in super hot peppers at all?
No, actually I have quite a few hot pepper seeds, but I just don't use them. I don't like pain that much, and I don't like burning up my my innards. There's some of these guys that I'll watch. They have these hot channels, like hot pepper challenges, and I forget the name of them now. Sometimes I'll watch their live streams. I'm trying to think. Somebody on here, I would see them on it. But yeah, I appreciate it, but I do have seeds. I don't like the hot stuff a whole lot.
Swarm said, I'm 3 years old. So true. And then Wickershire said, we found out that a traffic jam in your neck of the woods, farm tractor, 15 miles chugging along. It's so true. Like sometimes we're like, what's going on? And they're like, you see a little tractor. And I was like, oh, there's a tractor up there.
Yeah, you just get used to it.
Yeah.
Majority of the time it's free and clear though.
Mm-hmm. Have you tried Sugar Rush Peach?
Sugar Rush Peach. I wonder if that's a variety of peach, because I actually just ate a peach before this live stream. It was a white peach, and I've never had a good white peach. They've always been like real stony and not a lot of flavor. But this one was really good. I got it from Walmart, and I'm really hoping the peach trees that we have on the property, we have 1, 2, 3 fruiting peach trees, and we had a neighbor over, and he was saying that white peaches are very common on the properties around us, and they tend to drop seed and reproduce really easily in this area. So I'm hoping these peach trees that we got, the first growing season that we had last year, they got hit by bugs, and then we had a late frost, so we lost a lot of them. And then the ones that we didn't lose, the bugs got them. So this year, they keep, like, I'll look at the ground and I'm like, no, we lost more. And then a couple of days later, it'll get windy. No, we lost some more. But we still probably on the trees, we still probably have at least 300 or 400 peaches still on the trees. So I'm hoping I'll get to try a couple of them. If you're actually so he says it's a pepper.
It's variety of pepper.
Sugar Rush Peach Pepper.
And it says it's about as hot as a habanero on the hot side.
Yeah, habaneros. Man, I'm familiar with habaneros. I just, you could put like a quarter of a habanero in a salsa, and that's good. And I like it, but nobody else in my family would eat it. So then,
Free Honey Maid said, "Okay, good night, everyone. Good night, Free Honey Maid."
All right, Nisi.
Thanks
for coming by.
Beam Me Up said, "I have a video of me eating a chocolate." What does that say?
Chocolate something.
Right there. See it?
Oh, Trinidad Scorpion.
I don't do that anymore. But if I do have a gander with a super hot in it. Ooh. You know what's funny? Because when I first read your comment, I saw chocolate and I was like, yeah. And then I was like, wait, did I just read what I thought I read?
Yeah.
Like, I don't like scorpions at all, especially in my mouth. I have to go look at it, though. I'm curious. The other day, the kids were laughing in their room, and they brought over, and they were reading James and the Giant Peach. And I think it was the grasshopper was like they're going through an adventure, and he's like, this is so bad. Like, I would rather have been eaten by a Mexican in some chocolate or something like that, it said. And they're like laughing hysterically, and they're like, look, Mom. And sure enough, it says that. I was like, wait, what does that say? I can't remember now what it said, but it did say that. Might be eaten by a Mexican.
Wickershire was talking about his peas being under attack. Yeah, the aphids actually have...
Oh, it's jalapeno, not a habanero.
Jalapenos? Habaneros?
Sorry. I was like, oh, I said they're wrong.
Hot peppers. On the aphids, a lot of times aphids are an indicator of excess nitrogen. When your nitrogen levels are super high, a lot of times the plants, they'll absorb that nitrogen, and they don't have a way of releasing that. Like, they're pulling that up with everything else, and they just get overwhelmed with that nitrogen. And a lot of times you'll see, like, after a rainy season, because the rain actually, it collects nitrogen molecules as it travels through the air. It collects those and brings those down to the ground level. So a lot of times you'll find that you'll get an inrush. That's why the grass turns greener after the rains. A lot of that is due to the nitrogen levels going up. But the plants don't have a capability of getting rid of that. So a lot of times they'll actually, and this is going to sound kind of weird, they'll secrete a chemical, they'll release a chemical secretion that actually encourages the aphids to come. So they draw the aphids so that the aphids or other animals will take those real tender shoots off, and they'll get rid of it. So this is going to sound kind of weird. Now, if your plants are really young, this could be damaging to them. But a lot of times what you can do is, and I used to do this a lot with the citrus trees in Arizona, the citrus trees would get real heavy aphids on the end in the young growth, and I would just go pull all that off. You know, I'm not going to go over there and try and spray every little aphid off. You'll see people out there. But what the plant actually wants to happen, you know, do your own research on this and take with what I'm saying with some balance. You know, don't, like I said, you can't take real young plants and just start ripping the ends off of them. But what I would do, you know, there'd be a couple inches, 3 or 4 inches of new growth, and that would be all covered with aphids. I would just break that off and just throw it on the ground. And a lot of times, like I'm saying, what the plant is actually doing is it's making sacrificial parts and actually encouraging that so that it can release that because it's got an excess. So look into that. That's a lot of times that's your problem with the aphids.
Beaming at Mr. Scott said people can smell that fertile soil smell too. You know, it's funny because there has been certain times of the year that I tell Paul, like, I can smell the dirt. Like, I can smell it. And at first, I thought it was like a lack of rain or right before rain because that's usually when I would smell it in Arizona. But I realized that's not always the case here. There's this area that I call it my favorite part of my path. There's times that I can smell it, and I'm like, Paul, like, do you smell that lovely smell? And it's that fertile soil, and that's one of the reasons why it's my favorite path, the part of the path.
Yeah, it's like a real earthy smell, and it's almost like plant matter in the right moisture conditions. It's almost like when you go into what do they call it, a humidor, like where they keep the cigars. They keep them in that like just perfect humidity, and you go in there and you can just like, it's almost like the level is just right, like just the right blend to hold that smell.
Yeah,
it's kind of weird how it works.
I love it. So we have about 4 minutes before our live stream is over. So I want to know, do you guys have any questions before we sign off? Time flew by really quickly.
What did he say he was going to film? Because Billy said he wanted to see it on film.
He talked about, I think it was eating cicadas.
Oh, yeah. He says he can't wait to grill some cicadas.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh my goodness.
It sounds like he's done that before. But then again, Bruce will say some stuff where it's kind of like he's just joking around. He says they're really good, like little lobsters.
Huh.
That's interesting. So cicadas are one of those things that, man, the way they vibrate when you go to pick them up, and then like you look at them things and they got those big old eyes, and it's just like something that flew out of hell. You're just like, what the heck is this little thing? But that's one of those things that like our kids will go pick up anything. Like they'll pick up the biggest beetles and all this stuff. But those things, they're like, meh, we're not meant. I mean, they'll squish them and smash them, and they don't run from them, but they won't handle them. Yeah. Sometimes I'll get them and I'll like tear their wings off and I'll throw them to the chickens. But yeah, we haven't had that. I guess this is the year for the huge invasion of cicadas, but I've only seen like 2 or 3 of them.
Well, Allison, our friend from Louisville, was saying that there's an area in, I think it's Louisville, somewhere around there. We were chit-chatting, and you were working I think it was a saw or something yesterday. She's like, do you hear that noise? She's like, that is the type of noise over here in this area. She's like, there's so many cicadas.
Oh, I think it was the welder. It's like,
it was something you had going on over there. And she's like, do you guys have really bad cicadas? And we're like, no. But we do have a lot of lightning bugs. That's not a bad thing, though. Yesterday we were enjoying it. The sun was going down, and it looked like Christmas. Like someone put Christmas lights on the trees, on the bushes, on the grass, and it was just so beautiful. So we had a little bonfire going, and we were enjoying the lightning bugs. The kids like to put them in a jar, take them in. It's like their little nightlight, and then during the day they like release them. So it's nice that they don't kill them. Hummingbirds back yet? I'm not sure. The males are.
Last year we had a hummingbird feeder, but we left it out over winter and it cracked. So we were getting a couple hummingbirds, but I haven't seen the hummingbirds just out on the flowers yet.
No, and I was sad because coming from Arizona, I didn't realize that.
You can't leave bottles of fluid out hanging in the air.
Yeah, because they would explode. And yeah, I was sad with my little hummingbird feeder. And then Swarm said the males are basically hollow, so you have to collect the females more guts. That reminds me from Lion King that says, what is it, crunchy yet satisfying when he's eating the buns. Let me see here. Beat me up. Scott said, I'm going to send you an email with my correct info.
Contact.
Here, you read it.
Contact info. I want to get you some alpine strawberries. Well, thanks a lot, Beat Me Up, Scott. And he says he has some hot peppers and some tomato seeds. Right on.
Yeah,
we'll
thank you.
And we'll check them out. We'll try and grow them. What was he talking about there? Oh, Wickershy was asking for a second time. I did see that, and thanks for bringing that up again, Billy. It says, "Are you growing pumpkins, watermelon, squashes?" So yeah, so this is actually last year, the first week of June was when we put in all of that stuff. So that's what we're gonna do pretty soon here, and we actually want to grow. We have pumpkins. I'm not sure if you saw them in the house, Billy. We have pumpkins that we harvested last September and October that we still have. So they overwintered very well. They've stored. There were some that when we went to check on them, they were starting to rot. Like a lot of times the stem, it will actually fall off or start to get like soggy. And then the base around the stem starts to get soft and it gets discolored before that spreads. So then when we would see that, we would either give it to the chickens. Sometimes we wouldn't catch it right away because it's kind of in a storage room. We either give it to the chickens or we try to use it before it like completely went bad. But we still have two, and we only really saved the two just to see how far along they would go, how long we could store them. So we still have two left over from last year. So what we want to do, especially with the hard squashes, not like a yellow squash, which is more kind of like a zucchini, but like an acorn squash, spaghetti squash, those type of squashes that are like the pumpkins that have that hard shell on them, is see how many of those we can take how far again, and then use those as chicken feed and animal feed. A lot of people were telling me that they feed goats and sheep, and they can do that all throughout the winter. So we want to find a bunch of spots that we can go into and grow a ton of those, grow a surplus of the squashes. Then you asked about the watermelons. So yeah, we'll be planting those. We've been seeing those come up in the stores, and the kids keep saying, "Hey, when are we going to plant our watermelons? We got to get our melons in." So yeah, we're going to be doing that this week coming up.
I'll run
and
I'm back.
And what else was he asking about? Squashes. Yeah. So I think that answers that question.
And we learned we're not going to put those in the garden because.
Yeah. So that garden area that you were in, Billy, that's where we grew them the first time, and those things just grow rampant, and they end up taking over. Like the pumpkins went out in every direction, like 15 feet. So I mean, you talk about like a 30-foot diameter, and man, that's going to take up like 3 or 4 rows.
To this day, we still laugh at David's face.
Yeah,
and he's like touring his part of the garden. We have that video up of the kids, and he's just like, "This was my
area."
But the pumpkins, like his little face of complete defeat. Yeah. And then there was Beam Me Up Scout mentioned about videoing the lightning bugs or the lightning bugs. So I will try. Right now we are still down to our phones only. We haven't been able to fix my camera, and so we'll see.
Yeah, with the phones, like you'll see it and you're like, "Oh, that's awesome," but then like when you look at it with the phone, it's like, well, there's some dots there. Like,
so I will try.
See it.
So I will try. We have older phones, so I know that the newer phones definitely have like amazing cameras. They take these amazing video footage, but we will give it a shot. So we are at our hour mark, my lover.
Well, you got places to be?
I do.
Where are you going?
I got things to
do. Are you
going
to make us some dinner?
Well, that's on the to-do list, but if you keep me up, vas a ver, you're not eating nothing.
Vas a ver.
We're going to be having some albondigas soup.
All right, let's go over these last couple comments, and then we'll call it a night. Call it a stream. Wickershire is talking about his wife yelling at him for Johnny Apple seedling. Oh yeah, and that's what you got to do with those though. You got to put them out in more remote places where. Yeah, there's room. That's the advice I would give somebody. Keep those things out in the wild areas. They can outcompete a lot of the grasses and stuff. If you get them in early enough and give them a head start, definitely put those out and about. Those melons and those huge squash plants.
Beat me up, Scott. Mr. Scott said, cantaloupe is my nemesis. I know they grow here. The bugs always eat the seedlings. I'll get that too.
Yeah, beat me up, Scott. We really enjoyed our time with you. Thanks for all the input. That was awesome. I look forward to getting that email from you, so I'll check that out. And if we get your address, we'll send you something back. We have a bunch of stuff that we've got going, and maybe I'll send you some of those strawberry plants that I have. I'm pretty sure I could package those up and get some of those out to you. Get those spread out. We really like spreading out plants. We find little places that have these little niche plants, these obscure little plants that do really well, and we like to pass those out. So
thank you everyone that has joined us either now or in the replay. We really appreciate you guys spending any time with us. So I know that a couple people were able just to play it. They're playing in the background. So whatever the case is, we appreciate it. Really, really, we do. It's always so motivating to see like the numbers. You're like, hey, people are actually watching our videos. So thank you.
Yeah, and just to let you know, Billy from Wickershire, we got quite a few people come over from our channel, and we know that it's from you directing people our way, so we appreciate that, because we saw that normally our average is, and this isn't anything that like we really focus on, but normally our average is like 2 people a day is usually about the subscribers that we get. So we average, now it's probably closer to 1.5. So we probably average like 40 to 45 new subscribers a month. So like I said, 1.5 a day, 2 a day is kind of common, but like in the last couple of days we had like 15 new subscribers. So we know a lot of that's because of your video coming out. So
and Simply Jan did cool. The love rate earlier today. So thank you. Like I said, as we were watching that, I was like, oh, thank you, Simply Jan. And thank you to all of our moderators. We really appreciate you guys coming on and just making sure that things stay going now.
We'll see you guys.
Bye, guys.
Catch you on the next one. Not yet.